Okay, clap.
We don't do it. One of us do it.
Go. Synchronized clap. Wait. Hello. This is the podcast, Girls and the City. You are welcomed by your two lovely co-hosts, me, Susanna, who, when guys hit on her, instead coached them through a breakup. And me, Elizabeth, who's been traveling around but still hasn't found a place to settle. Each week, we discuss an episode of Sex and the City, answer and reflect on the main questions, while sharing personal experiences, giving it a modern twist. And today we have a guest. It was the most exciting way I was
Sorry, we did a letdown of the intro.
So, guys, today, as you can see, it's the first time that we do in-person podcast. It's a new thing for us. We spent probably the last 45 minutes to an hour setting things up, but it's with a great pleasure that we welcome our first official guest in our podcast.
Thanks, guys. Pleasure to be here.
He hasn't come up with a one-liner yet.
Oh, I need a one-liner as well.
No. Yeah, this is Oscar.
Yeah. He's the guy.
How do we know Oscar? How do we know Oscar? So, how do we know each other? I mean, the same way. Yeah. And then he just kind of joined. We actually didn't really know he studied with us. He was a little bit delayed in getting to know us because we did 2 years. Well, we did study during COVID, so yeah, it's kind of hard. Some people just didn't come to London, and Oscar was one of them. But he understood how much he has missed in those years. Yeah. So then we rekindled last summer and... Rekindling means it's like a romance. I was like, this is a mess. Anyway, if you remember, there were a few times that we mentioned that would be great to have a perspective. Yeah, exactly. And we just found it.
I'm glad to represent all males.
So the entire demographic across the world. All pressure is on you. Now.
Yeah, I know. Hopefully, you have some others lined up as well.
We'll see. Do we do our usual? Oh yeah. How are you? Well, we've been together all day, so I mean, you can catch me up on your week, I guess. I can catch you up on my week. So, I mean, same old. I work shocking the whole week, and it's Valentine's week. It was Valentine's yesterday, and we spent it together with Elizabeth. Wedding Valentine's. Yeah. Yeah, it's so weird. Like, we basically spend time together, so talking about it feels more... It's like she's like, we're not really friends, but then we hang out now. It's like, I'm repeating what I just experienced with you in the last 48 hours. No, on Wednesday, we did music bingo. Yeah, we did. With some of Elizabeth's friends. That was very nice. Yesterday, we went out on Valentine's Day, met some... Well, actually, no. So funny enough, I took notes on a napkin. Very sentimental. There was nothing else to write on. Okay, anyways, we sat in a corner because we got to a bar, and we sat in the corner, and I said, why are we sitting here? Because no one's going to talk to us while we sit here so far away from everyone. 2 seconds later, a guy comes up to Zuzi, and then his friend comes along. He came to you first. He was like, can we join? Oh, yeah, he asked me, because I was in the corner. Yeah, he asked me if he can sit. So I am the gatekeeper. Or the sugar mama of the group. Okay, that's what they said later. Anyways, that was that. That was good. We did some research, so I'll bring it up later. But how was your week? It was fine. I traveled, made it to London. It feels good to be back. It feels like home. That's about it. Oscar?
Great week. Was in Paris for a bit.
Oh, really?
Yeah, for 2 days for work, so that was great. And then
very romantic.
Yeah, very romantic. Yeah, just all in preparation for the podcast. Just getting
also on Friday?
In the right frame of mind. No, on Friday I was supposed to play tennis with a friend, and he ditched me on Valentine's Day. So that is
speaking on
horrible move.
Speaking on that, I was waiting for Elizabeth for 40 minutes yesterday. And when she came, my first sentence was, if you were a guy, I would have left already. I mean, what's the latest you've ever been to a date? Probably like 20 minutes. Oscar?
I don't know, really. Not the date, no.
I mean, that would be pretty... Like, usually guys always come a little bit earlier.
Guys are there 5 minutes before, girls are there 5 minutes after. Yes.
5 minutes?
That's my experience.
What about if they come later than 5 minutes?
It's fine as well.
Oh, so my experience is that I pushed a date half an hour, and then I was another half hour late.
Oh.
I'm not surprised. He texted me asking if he could order a drink. And he stayed. I'm a lovely company. But was it the first date? No. Okay, well then he knew you already. But if it's like a first date, if it's like a first date and you don't know we're meeting. Yeah, no, it's fair. I think he was invested by that point. Obviously, like 1 hour. Yeah. Well, he was sitting in a restaurant.
Really good drink, maybe.
I mean, yeah, I guess. The important question is, are you still seeing him? I don't know. We'll find out.
Is he waiting now?
Yeah, it's because of the date that I just canceled. Does he know you're in Europe? Yeah, he knows. He's not just waiting. Can you imagine? I can. Because, like... Okay, I'm not that cruel. The whole point was... She asked me, let's meet at 7, because then other girls are joining at 8, so we can enjoy, like, an hour. A little catch-up. Yeah, and you know what time she arrived? 7:50. No. Okay, it wasn't that. I exited the tube at 7:30.
That doesn't...
And then it was like 2-minute walk to the actual... whatever. Anyway... On to the actual podcast. Yes, let's discuss what we are here for today. We're in season 2. Let's also mention that. So, we officially completed the season 1. Carrie is single again. And... Yeah, spoiler alert. We kind of know that already. And this episode will be about breakups. I think great topic for the Valentine's week, because everyone wants to talk about breakups when it's Valentine's Day. But it is what it is. And we will definitely ask Oscar to represent all men and answer our questions. Yeah. All right. Shall I give a summary? So, the episode follows Carrie as she navigates the aftermath after her breakup with Mr. Big. She's struggling to move on and trying to distract herself with different things, ending up with a Yankee that she kind of uses distraction, let's be clear, mostly. And at the end really understands that that's not the way to go and that she's not ready, because we see that at some point she bumps into Mr. Big. She's trying to kind of like bump into him, but not at the same time throughout the whole episode. Well, she thinks she's seeing him in the crowd. Like, I think like we've all been in the situation being like, yeah. Even last night we were sitting at dinner and I thought I saw one of our friends' ex. I'm not kidding. It looked like him. I know. So it's kind of the same thing of like you're seeing faces, but you're not. Yeah, but like I feel like she's kind of like saying that I'm trying to avoid certain places at certain times of a date because I can run into him, but at the same time, the whole time she kind of was wishing that she's gonna meet him. Like manifesting? No, like she literally, when she took the Yankee guy for this party, she bought a new dress because she... I think it was just in case, like in case, like, yeah. But like, I mean, that's just like indirectly kind of hoping they will bump into each other. Interesting. Sure. So yeah, that happens at the end of the episode, and obviously she's not over him, and she's also not ready to really date another person. So sure. that short distraction ends there. And in the meantime, obviously, all her friends are helping to support her to going through this breakup. Each of them having their own perception of how she should deal with that. Miranda being really hardcore and kind of being Miranda. Just a little harsh. I mean, there was just the conversation where they were all sitting talking about like guys. And she's like, guys, this is literally what it's come to. Like, all we do is talk about men. Like, we're all very smart women. Really, that's the only thing we think. Yeah, I think she's like struggling generally with like dating and like how she views men in general. Yeah. And we learn later that there was one guy that she dated in the past and probably was in love, and he broke up with her, and she didn't really process it until she met him again on the street and realized that, it's not that easy as she thought. Then we have Charlotte, obviously, who has very specific rules again and mathematical. What is it?
I have the quote. It's wait a second. It takes you half the total time you went out with someone to get over them.
Yeah.
Okay, in a minute, let's pause that because we're going to discuss that.
Let's open that later. And there's also an interesting thing about her dating a guy who, again, perfect, until the fact that she is starting to kind of see him for what he really is, rather than this ideal version of what she created in her head. Yeah. And how do I put this? Like, he's like pulling down his pants the whole time. Yes, that's a nice way to put it. Thank you. And then we have Samantha. Obviously, Samantha is dealing with her own problems. She's still dating a guy who has a small penis.
Samantha's, I mean, I think like for the first time she's actually in a relationship.
She is in a relationship and she's struggling with that, mostly because it's a relationship. And then secondly, because sex just is not working for her.
Shocking.
Yeah. So yeah, we basically have all girls going through their own struggles and looking at the dating and breakups from different perspectives. The question, there were a lot of questions again, but I think the main one, and it's a good one, I think, to open the season 2.
Sure.
What are the breakup rules?
All right, and with that,
we open the floor.
Oscar, how long does it take to get over someone?
All right, yeah. Well, let's dive into deep. So I think it's very like it's not that easy, cut and easy as like half the time you went together.
It's not an Excel calculation.
Sorry?
It's not an Excel calculation.
No, I don't think you can put it in an Excel sheet. I think it varies greatly on the type of relationship and how deep you go and etc. Right?
Sure.
And it's also, I think there's also just a practical side of it, of like, were you living together? Did you have common friends? Like, is this gonna impact other parts of your life as well?
Yeah, how integrated you were.
Exactly. So I think that is a huge part of it. So I don't think there's a one side answer. But if you guys have any other thoughts, let me know.
Yeah.
I mean, I was thinking about my last breakup, and definitely was not the case. I think it's very individual. Like as you said, each relationship and each breakup is different. And I think, kind of paradoxically, sometimes the shorter and more intense relationships just takes you much longer to go over because it ended when things were still good. Like, situationships.
Yeah.
Whereas if you're like in a long-term relationship and like at some point you both know it's just not working.
Yeah.
You kind of like, I think, go through the phase while still being in a relationship where you are clearly seeing that it's not working. And so like when you break up at that point, you already expected it. So maybe like dealing with it is easier versus like, short, intense, low where it just comes and you don't expect it. And you have to accept the new reality. So I would say definitely not what Charlotte says. And then depends on your, situation.
Yeah, that's fair.
But yeah, also to drag it into like other sitcoms that I watch, like How I Met Your Mother, is the thing of like one week per 1 month, right? So then it's like a quarter of the time.
Oh.
So that's the time it takes to, or 1 month per year, maybe, like something like that. Like it's all discounted. So I think, but I actually disagree with this because it can, like some of the shorter ones, you're sort of just in the beginning just feeling each other out, right? And then it can end very amicably, and you can sort of, there's no hard feelings, no nothing. But like there's such a, if you've been together longer, there's such a life-changing event. Like it's almost just, it's not fully about just the breakup. It's just changing scenery.
I see your point. I mean, you can also pitch in.
Let's do that. No, I think it's also like, I guess like it's also what life you almost thought you would have, like the expectations you have, and like the fact that like that changes. Because I think you're right in the sense that like you meet someone, you're trying to figure out like it's a short-term relationship. You're like trying to figure out like is this like a long-term thing? If it's not, then like it's totally fine to like just have a conversation and be like, hey, didn't work out. We're not meant to be.
But that's like assuming you're not in, like don't have feelings for that person yet, which are strong. Right?
I mean, it's a whole different question. It's like how quickly do you develop feelings?
So, because like what I meant is like you met someone, like you are kind of into each other and there are emotions already and feelings involved, and it just kind of ends prematurely maybe. And like this is my experience, that was definitely more difficult than ending a kind of like going over a relationship where I thought myself that something just didn't work really.
Yeah, but isn't that maybe, I don't know the situation, but maybe a difference between being the dumper and the dumpy?
You don't know, because
no, I just feel like in one situation you have both feet in the relationship, right? But in other, it almost sounds like you're not on the way out, but you have hesitancies about. Don't you think it's more about that?
No, because in both of the scenarios I was on the same side.
Okay, all right. Yeah.
Okay, it's easy.
But I mean, I think it depends per person. There are probably people who are gonna be more emotional about everything, and
I think it also differs because, like, in my last relationship, I ended it, but it's because I realized like that person just didn't see a future with me, and I just like my ego could not take it.
Yeah.
So it's not that they, in the moment, they're like, I could probably do this longer, and I'm like, well, you're not the end game. I'm not wasting my time.
Yeah.
And I like so like,
but that's like the irrational breakup also.
Shocking for me.
Avoidance.
Whoa. Okay. Anyways, next question, Oscar. So we see Carrie being comforted by her friends throughout the breakup. They literally like have an intervention, being like, you've been in the house for too long. We're gonna get you outside. Do you guys do that? Like, if you are going through a breakup and they know it's like serious, like, what do you guys do to comfort each other in a breakup, or do they not?
Right.
Maybe first question is, how much do you talk about it?
That's also good.
Oh yeah. So I think it very much depends. Like I'm very close to my friends, so like when it goes to like they're checking in all the time, and I think that's very good as well. And then I had some friends who are like, and their perspective was like, okay, I know how this is, but I don't want to bother you right now. Like I just want to take. I'll let you reach out when you're ready. Result is I never reach out, right? Because I have other friends that did. So I think guys definitely talk about it, and then, but there's not, I think, as typical, right? There's not that much like you can get comfort and rants and stuff, but it's also like what are you like? Are you making sure you're like getting in the gym or like doing other things,
the routines,
being social, or like these is very focused on like advice and stuff, which I appreciate. I think that's a good way to go about it.
Do you do this type of things where you would just take the guy out to the club to kind of distract themselves?
Or get him out of the house, like.
Yeah, no, I think it's just hanging out, right? That's the main thing. Like I just had when I've been through breakups, it's just been a need to just hang out with the guys. You know, it doesn't have to do. I mean, going out and getting good stories and stuff is fun as well, but it's more just like having a good time.
Yeah. Good time.
So it's more like quality time with people like that you trust.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, that's ultimately how you get through a breakup, right? It's like you get your mind off things. You like fill in parts of your life.
You know, there were moments in my life when I went through a breakup and there were no friends around me.
Didn't you text me?
Around me, like physically.
I'll come. I'll fly.
Oh, well, we were not so close then.
Oh, that's true. We rediscovered our friendship.
Rekindled.
Okay, we did one group project together. We weren't really friends.
Okay, this is off camera, okay? Dispute.
That comes out in episode 14.
We're not really friends.
I wasn't aware of this until now. So, but you know, like it's very important that people are also in the same place with you, because it's so different when you actually can hang out with someone and maybe just like talk on the phone for like a little bit, and then like at the end of the day you are mostly alone.
Yeah.
It's like that social element of socializing is also, I think, what makes a big difference.
Yeah. Like I've had periods where like, yeah, I moved in with family or like, and you're like, I can't, as an adult, that kind of feels like a step back in a way, but it's also, you have someone around you the whole time.
Yeah.
Kind of nice.
Yeah.
Nice, loving environment.
Exactly.
Nice. Okay, well, also like bumping into your ex, I was thinking about like how realistic is that? Have you ever bumped into your ex?
Well, I usually had exes in different countries than I was.
Oh, wow. Seriously, look at you.
Disqualified. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
She just leaves the country.
Yeah.
I ended like a relationship and one of us just left, so we don't bump into each other. No. There was a period of my life when, you know, at the uni, I was single and like, you just go out with people and sometimes it doesn't work out. And there would be areas at the uni, like the campus, where I wouldn't go because I know there are like the chances I will meet
The landmines.
Yeah, certain people that I don't want to really run into. So in that regards, it happened, but not really to like an ex. But I remember once I thought I saw him in a train and I got completely like frozen.
It turns your stomach, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's not a nice feeling.
But what are you afraid of?
Confrontation.
Let's say that relationship didn't end up well from my side. I could have done better closure, but I didn't. So I think like it's a little bit of that I feel I should have done it better.
It's just bad feelings. Like,
Yeah.
Have you run into an ex?
No, but like living in London or like even Oslo, like it's fairly big cities, right?
Yeah.
Like London is just. I think I saw a girl I'd gone on one date with. I saw her at the airport. I don't think she saw me, but it's like just the chance of that happening.
Yeah.
So low.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, that's not something I'm very, very concerned with.
You don't avoid places.
No.
Okay.
I mean, even if that happens, I mean, at the end of the day, it's fine, right?
Yeah, exactly. Normally it's fine. And yeah. There's a reason you were together, and maybe there's a reason you were apart. But it's.
I mean, if the relationship wasn't horribly like something didn't go horribly wrong, then it's just the end of the day, it's just a person that you sometimes or at some point knew closely. What about you?
I mean, I'm kind of the same boat as you. Is like, ironically, every single one of my relationships ended when we were long distance at that point. So it's like there was never really that chance. Are they back in London? Maybe. Am I afraid to walk around London? No, just because Oscar said like it's a big city. Like the odds of it happening are pretty straight.
Yeah, and you can always hide in a big
hide.
Like if you see them on the street.
Oh, like what Miranda did.
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, sometimes it's better to like avoid it if you can.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah.
No, that's fair. That's fair. Okay, the Yankee piece. So they went to a baseball game. What are the odds of like actually meeting like a sports player and like that? I feel like, do you think that would happen in general?
Yeah, but they were in the locker room, right? That helps a lot.
They flashed Carrie's press pass, yeah.
Yeah. So that like then it's like then you're not playing on equal footing in a way.
That's true. Okay.
So what are the chances that you get a ball?
Pretty good, like slam, but like it's part of the plot. Come on.
No, but also even if they didn't get a ball, they could just go down and kind of get my jersey signed or whatever.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, I did really like that moment where she just went all in and asked him out.
Okay, let's be honest. Like she was wrong.
Yeah.
Would you not do that?
I probably would have if I'm that drunk and after breakup, just to distract myself. But it's also like interesting to see because Carrie is usually not the person who asks out
to like approach people.
Yeah. And now she did and it actually worked out. So
nobody rebounds with the Yankee. the new Yankee. Miranda's comment killed me a little bit.
Is that something that you prefer actually?
If girls come up.
Yeah. Like how do you perceive that?
I think it's great. But I think girls do it differently than guys, though.
Okay, how so?
So guys just go up, right? And they say either a cheesy pickup line, or they go or say something cute, and then they start a conversation there. I think girls do it more by just putting themselves in your space, so they're just like around you. And
Do you notice that?
They still want you to initiate. So I've had girls that I thought I picked up, and they were like, no.
You had a whole situation.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I walked up to you, but and I was like, oh, this is good girl.
So you don't realize
This
when
is what I
girls.
told you about last night. Like when I was like, oh yeah, the guy that was like the love of my life. I architected that entire situation.
Yeah,
He didn't know about it. I still
this
was like,
is crazy. Like I never done this in my life. I'm just like doing my life, and then some people just come and then they're like, yeah, hi. Like yesterday.
Wait, we hit in a quarter.
Yeah, nice. How do you architect your meet cutes?
I knew who he was. He was in school. This was like when I was like 17.
Nice, lovely.
And I was in charge of like showing new kids around, and I just bumped into him. I was like, "Oh, are you lost? Like, let me help you out."
I never know what to say. Like even if I would fancy someone, I have no. Okay,
Like the point of rejection is so low because clearly he's clueless. So I'm just like the nice, friendly girl.
fair. Maybe I'm not good with small talk.
It's not small talk. I'm being informative.
I mean, it's always good if you have a reason, yeah. But like, imagine that there's a random person in a bar, and you just want to approach them. You need to have some kind of, as Oscar said, like pickup line, or say something.
No, I think pickup lines don't work really. It's more,
Really?
yeah, you just gotta
Say something.
give a compliment.
I think it has to be genuine.
Give a compliment, ask a general question, start a conversation, and then you notice very quickly, right? And that's like, even like doing it's not, you're not trying to trick anyone. You're just like presenting yourself out there. And if they're, and you'll notice, like, even if you give, like, if I just ask, oh, who are you here with? And you answer that, like, then it's, then you know that they're like, it's kind of reciprocal, or you got their attention in a way. But if you really got to trick them to, like, that doesn't work long term.
It has to be like organic.
Yeah.
Like authentic. Yeah.
You know what, we were actually talking today on a table with the girls, that I think the guys are just more used to being told no because all these interactions, whereas girls are not so used to being told no, because we usually, like, we definitely approach less on average than guys, and that can also transfer to other areas of life. But in general, like, do you think about it too much if, like, you kind of, like, get the clear no?
Yeah, or if I get a clear no.
Yeah. That's the bother.
I think it's great. Like, because then it's like, that's very easy to work with, right? Then I know, the boundaries, or like, that that's not off limit in a way. So I think, like, and then you're sort of like, okay, I walked up to that girl, and like, at least I did it, and that's all you can control.
I don't know how I would feel.
But yeah, because that's interesting. Like, I had friends who were like rejected girls, and them not taking it very well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because as you said, they're
not used to it.
Yeah.
They don't know how to react.
Like, I am not so used to being rejected in this, like, setup.
Okay, Susie.
No, that's
What do you mean you're rejecting?
because I don't do it so much. Like, I don't approach as much. Yeah. So that means
it's like, when you propose to someone, you have to be like 99% sure. She'll only do it if she's 99% sure. Let's say yes.
I don't do it. I attract.
She just doesn't.
I attract. I don't chase. I attract.
Yeah. Okay, but talking to someone's not chasing.
Yeah, no, it's just like, because I'm not so used to it, it would actually make, like, I would probably take it more personal.
Interesting.
It's also very cultural, like,
probably
just like Norway versus like I've had friends here who were just like, they looked at guys, and that was their signal for the guy to come up. And
is that clear to you guys?
Exactly.
Though?
No clue at all.
Because like, I talked to like multiple male friends with me, and they're like, yeah, it's so hard to read sometimes the signals.
There was a whole TikTok video about this. My friend was like, we should go try this at a bar. We haven't tried it yet. I'll let you know how it goes. But like,
apparently you stare at a guy, then you get caught staring, then you look away. Oh yeah. And then you purposely keep staring until he says something and like comes up to you.
I think that works.
Just staring at someone?
Yeah. I think because usually people would like move away the moment when you look at them. But if you keep the eye contact, it's kind of like...
What's the Scarface quote?
Creepy in a way, no?
Soul in the eyes, Chico. You know?
That's your pickup line?
No, that's the Scarface quote.
That would be the first sentence you would say, you know?
The eyes never lie.
The eyes never lie.
They don't.
No.
Oh my god. Okay, anyways, back to Carrie's stats.
Stats, yeah. So
dating in New York for 10 years.
Yeah, 5 relationships, 1 serious, countless dates. And all ended up with a breakup.
Yeah, I'd be like the odds of a relationship that would last. Is that like... I think that's very typical in a big city now. Unless you do really meet someone special.
I think like depends how you approach it. Like if you're approaching it through dating apps, it's just
depends on the strategy. Well, Carrie doesn't have dating apps.
Yeah, because they didn't have any. But I feel like it almost like, okay, I'm just gonna meet any guy, and go out with them. So it's like a dating app for me. Like she just like dates.
Yeah. Sits through them. Okay.
I also think she doesn't really have like a specific goal. Like I'm dating to marry, like Charlotte does. She's just dating.
I feel like you can't do that.
What do you mean?
Like it's one thing to be like.
You can't date to marry.
No, you can date to marry, but I'm just saying you can't go out and hunt. Like I need to find someone tonight that I'm gonna marry.
That's not what I'm saying.
Like,
but there's like the difference. Charlotte and Carrie. Charlotte is a clear objective of what she's looking for. I think Carrie doesn't even know what she's looking for.
Okay, fair.
Like she's just looking for someone that I guess she feels good with. And then as she's going through relationships, she's starting to realize, do I want kids? Do I want to get married?
Yeah.
Stuff like that. So that makes it, I mean, if you don't have a clear goal, whatever you're doing, it's going to be more confusing.
Fair. Okay. I'll take that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I agree. And also on the dating apps as well, it gives you... just awful. It just gives you an extreme illusion of choice. You just gotta pretend like it's the same frame of mind you gotta have for social media, right? You go on the dating apps or you go on social media and you just gotta pretend none of these people are real. They don't exist at all because for all intents and purposes they don't, right? It's not. Yeah. It's not something you should take into account. Like me for example, I've had 0 long-lasting relationships with people I met on dating apps.
Same.
Oh, I actually dated a guy. But jealousy. No. Like, there's a difference.
But maybe, like, do you think it also it's a little bit maybe about your mindset, about how you approach them?
Maybe. I think it's interesting what you said on big cities because it does feel transient in some ways. Like people are just like passing through in a way.
There's a lot of choice.
Yeah, but also like people are like, it's in big cities. They're so like people might like I'm in the same thing, right? I might move to Norway. I might move to New York, or I might move to Singapore. Like it's like I don't know. Like it's so. I don't think there's many people that don't go to new big city because they're like, okay, I'm gonna settle. My life is gonna be here. Like I'm gonna settle. But maybe that's me projecting.
But what if you find someone that you like? Maybe it's just my high expectations of like finding someone that like is okay with traveling,
right,
and moving places because like at the end of the day, you're gonna have to compromise either way. Like whether it's like one city, another city, like just find someone who, again, I love the thing of like you're kind of weird, and then like just like it's like you're in a big sea of fish. Find your fish, get out, and like hang out with that fish.
I always when I was younger prioritized my education and work above relationships. I think with like especially when you're young, you should like education is the base for me.
Because it's very unlikely you're going to meet someone when you're like 15 and stay with them for the rest of
I didn't mean 15. I mean like early 20s. But then I kind of changed my perspective and I was more thinking like you can find multiple good jobs, but finding actually like a really good person that you feel you can build a future with is harder. So I would rather, if I find someone, try to make it work with that person and try to find a job, that supports that lifestyle than the other way around.
Yeah.
It matters like empirically as well on studies. Like it matters a lot more to your quality of life, who you're with. And that's like one of the bigger predictors rather than what you do for work. Yeah. Which is crazy, right? Because you spend 10 hours a day at work, and then you might only get 4 hours of waking time with that spouse, but that matters more than what you do.
Maybe it's because you don't necessarily feel that human connection with your colleagues. Like, you mostly work, and when you have it at home, that's what makes your life kind of gives a purpose or wholesome.
It's also like the life that you build together.
Yeah.
It's not just like that, like obsessing over the person. It's like the other things you do in your lifestyle. It's like fun hobbies together, like weird little adventures, like all this stuff.
But I think like another thing, you know, that I experienced myself is when you have this type of lifestyle where, you know, one or the other moves a lot and you kind of need to adjust both of your jobs and like lifestyles.
I mean, I do it.
At what point you kind of decide who makes the move?
I heard about someone that had the rule that like every 3 years, the other person decided where they live.
That's fun.
So they like, and then they...
Oh, like they would switch between?
Not even switch between, just go to a new... So someone might get a sort of like a job opportunity in South America. So now they're going there for 3 years. And then someone might get a job opportunity in Europe that I go. But that's like, it's also... there's a certain level of like high performers that allow that like through work, right?
Okay, but then you have to, that's the thing, is like focusing on work and education, I think, is an important prerequisite because then it allows you the flexibility.
Or one of the people in the relationship has to do some kind of work that is unrelated to the place. For example, like creative, you know, photographer or...
Sure, but like any business job, you can also like... It's not like you're practicing medicine so you can only stick to one country. It's not the same thing with law.
For sure.
Obviously, it has to allow for some like almost like work privilege. In a way for that. But yeah, that sounds fun. Interesting. Okay, well, we kind of moved away. Another question about guys doing things. So we saw in the episode of they have their like Saturday ritual. They have eggs, coffee, private dish session. So in girl talk, we call that debriefing. Do you guys do that? Do they a debrief? Like if you go hang out somewhere all together, like on a night out, it turns out chaotic.
Yeah.
Or then like you have like a weekly catch up.
So that's often better than the night out. It's like the day after. So, and it's hard to like simulate that when you're older, but like especially like if you travel together, for example, and you go out and then you all like stay in the same house or whatever.
Yeah.
That's like what the breakfast is spent on. Also why I really like Sunday roast in London. Like that started with just like awesome debrief, right? Because you're like curing the hangover with a good meal and you're just chatting and catching up. And now that works even though you didn't go out together, but you went out to separate places or whatever. So I think, debrief is awesome. Also, if some of the guys are overseas or somewhere else, for example, we jump on a call.
Oh, wow.
But it's all dependent on the stories of the night prior.
I mean, it always is. Sometimes I don't want to talk about some stories.
Really? Oh,
like...
Yeah, at least you'll tell it all.
Because you think in that moment was amazing, and the next time when you think about it again, you're like, no.
Right. What does your debrief look like?
Oh no, we do like a regular debrief.
We have constant debriefs.
We do too, and I mean the girls in DC do too. We met a group of guys, and it was really funny because it was like 3 girls, 3 guys, and one of our friends actually joined their debrief, and it was very minimal, like, because like we all it was a weird night. We all like went our separate ways because one of the guys was very sick, so me and another guy were taking care of him and like made sure he got home okay, made sure he was like on the couch, like lying on his side, so if anything happened. And then we all reassembled, like us, the girls, the next day, like chatted about it. And she's like, I joined the guys' debrief. They didn't even really talk about anything. And I was like,
maybe that's because you joined.
That's true.
No, because like she asked one of the guys afterwards, being like, do you guys like do this? And he's like, no, you were there. Like we saw it.
But I do have male friends who, for example, don't talk about their romantic or private life.
No, but that's fair. That's private. Different. That's different.
Yeah, and like hookups and stuff. It's also very minimal what you talk about.
Yeah.
Especially compared to girls, I think. But like,
spill everything.
But like, yeah, but like, nights out are an adventure, right? But if someone's
if it's like actually impacting someone's personal life, I feel like it's fine to keep that private.
Yeah.
But then we do talk about it. Like among us, we do talk about what's happening in our current lives quite a lot.
Yeah, but I feel like to what level of detail? Like there are some things that are obviously kept out, but not always.
Yeah. Anyway, we should go back to breakup.
Like, okay, fine. If you want to talk about the rules,
no, not yet. One thing I want to talk about a little bit, and then I have like one question for Oscar. I've written it down.
How dare I not ask you questions?
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. It's fine. So there is like this dilemma we see in the episode like multiple times. Like, how are you supposed to get over someone? Like, should it like ignore the bad feelings and you kind of like, force yourself to go back on the market, or should you actually take a step back, feel it all, cry, whatever.
The different stages of grief, isn't it the psychological rule?
It is.
Okay.
Partially, but I also think it depends on the person.
Yes, I think it largely depends on the person. I think
like some people do no contact, some people don't do no contact.
Yeah. I think the advice I would give most people is like, or like that I have given most of my friends is like right after you just got to do whatever it takes to survive. Like you just, if that means distracting yourself, if that means going traveling, or like right after you just like you're in survival mode, and then you gotta reorient yourself. And my perspective then it's just take the feedback that is there. Like it's obviously something you, or like in most cases you haven't been like there's like the relationship fell apart in some ways, and then there's something there you can probably learn from, so you should take that and then just really focus on yourself and focus on I think that's that's
so healthy and rational answer.
Are you trying to diagnose it?
No, like I honestly think it's very healthy and rational.
No, I feel like that applies to any big transition in your life. Like I think it's the same thing, like you lose your job. Yeah, it's the same thing of like, it's something that you can take away from. It's learning experience. Try to stay afloat. Keep yourself occupied. Again, that's why I say it's stages of grief. It's like,
yeah, because I mean, there were like, we've had comments, right, in the episode. Yeah. So one said, don't call or see them for 3 months. That's the time you will need to lose the weight you gained during the breakup.
Wow.
Okay. We have, give her whatever she wants, but don't sign a motherfucking thing. And then the third one is change your name, change your phone number, your job. They're all bumps.
They're all bumps. I think it really depends on who you are. Because I'm a big no contact person.
Oh, okay. So you would go no contact.
I'd go no contact. And I think actually guys are opposite in that sense. Not on the contact side of things, but like
chatting?
No, just processing things. Like and Oscar, correct me if I'm wrong. Keep me honest.
Also, I don't speak for all guys.
What do you mean? This is what I'm happy with.
That's why you're here.
No, like at least for me, it's like you have a breakup. Like I focus very intensely on getting over it, like right away. And so for me, it's like, I'm horrible. I'll throw myself into work. I will disappear. I'll be just working. And that's like the only thing that'll keep me afloat. And then it gets better. Yeah. Whereas like, I think from what I experienced, and this is only because they resurface later on, is like they take a gap of not really doing anything. Then they start processing. It gets hard. They start getting upset. They'll start to reach out.
Like, and it's like months later.
Like it's a month or two every single time. They reach back out. And then, like, they realize I'm not going to be available, and then they start to process it. It's like there's like almost like a holding period.
Yeah.
Is that real?
So I think very interesting perspective, and I haven't heard it before. So what I heard I have some friends that are girls who wholeheartedly believe guys will reappear. Like after a breakup,
they do.
The guys, yeah.
I'm sorry, but they do.
What do you mean, guys
reappear? In your like after a breakup, there's a certain time.
Oh yeah,
that passes and they'll pop back up.
Yeah.
Well, but sorry to interrupt you. He's being out.
Is that the case for both when the guy breaks up with the girl and also when he's the one that she broken up with?
It obviously depends on the other reason, but
I think. I mean, you probably did it more guys than I have, but so maybe you should answer.
I mean, you're free to choose.
No, but so what I would say on that, which I think is quite interesting, and from like chatting with friends of both sides, or like both women and men, I would say that girls' breakup is maximum in strength. So it feels the most, or intensity. Like it's super strong. It's a lot of feelings. It's like you can get really, really, really upset. And then guys' breakups, or for guys, it's often the maximum in duration. So it just keeps going. You know.
Wait, what do you mean?
That could just
like we feel it right away and really intensely, whereas they feel it over a period of time.
Is it increasing in terms of intensity, or is it the same?
No,
I think it's waves. No?
Yeah, definitely. But that could just be a skill issue as well. Like guys just do not know how to deal with it.
Or maybe girls don't know how to deal with it, so it just hits as hard.
I don't know. It sounds like for me, it sounds like the girls' way is better.
We just talk about it more.
Just feel it all, and then put it past you.
I mean, some guys also think that they're not allowed to cry, so.
Yeah, I mean, like emotional vulnerability is definitely more a thing for women than it is for men.
Yeah, wasn't one of the quotes something about you should not cry in front of her or something?
Oh yeah, the guys at the baseball game were like, then you're like the guy who cries.
Yeah. But I also feel like it changed since the 90s.
I don't know about that.
No.
I had a fight about this because I have a hot take on that boys and girls should be raised similarly in the sense that like boys should not be told they're not allowed to cry.
And what did he say?
He was against it. He said that they should man up.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, well, that's why they're not capable of emotions later on, buddy.
Depends on all the factors. I think culture is huge here again.
Yeah, no, for sure. I think so too. Okay, wait, but we didn't go over our own breakup rules.
Yes, but now the actual question comes. What are the breakup rules? Do you have any? And if yes, what are they? Let's read the Carrie's first.
Okay.
So she goes through 4 rules. First one, destroy every picture where he looks sexy and you look happy.
I disagree.
I never remove pictures. I never delete anything in terms of memory.
Oh, I archive, but okay.
I have literally my camera roll is probably like from 5-6 years ago.
Oh, I still have them.
And I still have.
Okay, but when you're going through a breakup, does it not hurt to like scroll through it?
I take it as a part of just processing the emotion.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, yeah, it hurts, but at some point it will not.
Would you destroy the remains of a relationship? Pictures? Specifically printed?
Yeah. They don't exist anymore. No, I think it's very it's an interesting. There is like what are we like there's old people that say don't like keep your old love letters in a way, right? And
why not?
No, you do keep your old love
letters. Elizabeth got personally.
I thought I was getting attacked.
Yeah. No, but it gets at one point you'll always appreciate that side of it, right? And you just got to take it as a good memory. And I think maybe the same goes for pictures, but maybe archiving is a modern compromise that works quite well.
I literally have what's called an Xbox.
Oh, you do?
It's an Xbox. It's a box of stuff from my exes.
Do you have different files for different exes?
Okay, it's not that organized. It's a box, okay? It's not a file list.
I mean, do you have an Xbox?
I don't know.
So you're the most organized from us.
Well, some things are a little bigger that didn't fit in there, so they live in my
Should I ask?
They're just like stuffed animals and stuff.
Motorcycle.
Stuffed
animals? How old are your exes? Jeez. How old?
Sometimes you go to like a carnival, like Winter Wonderland, they win you something. Are you gonna throw that out?
When the guy you picked up that was 17,
I was 17. Actually, no, he was 16. I was 17.
Oh my god, you
Did he give you the stuffed animal?
He gave me multiple. Actually, I still, to this day, it's really sad. He was the best boyfriend I think I've had.
Yeah.
He would get me flowers every single month.
You should pick up people.
That's cute.
It sounds like that's the...
I think so. Yeah, that's a strategy.
Well, except for some other people that I picked up, which are not keepers.
All right. Rule number 2, lie.
What? Lie?
Lie, especially to your friends.
Why?
That you don't miss them, even if you do.
I wouldn't do that.
Horrible advice.
Okay.
So both of the rules so far, no.
Yeah, we disagree.
Rule number 3, until emotionally stable, enter no store.
I'd agree.
That does not apply to me at all.
You don't go on a shopping spree?
No.
Who would have guessed?
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel everyone has their own kind of like
Weakness,
that they will
Their
tap
vice.
into
Their
when
vice that they engage in.
it doesn't like for Carrie obviously was shoes,
Yeah.
and like shopping,
Yeah,
but
okay, fair.
like let's make it more of like general, your weakness,
Okay.
pleasure.
Right. Okay. Next one.
No, what's yours? Like, what do you stay away from that? Like, if you have certain weaknesses, just stay away from them too.
I think for me to some extent it's food. Like I can.
Oh, I'd say shopping.
Yeah, like I would like, when you're alone and you just kind of like get into that habit of just eating. Because apparently when you are in distress or like emotionally and you eat, your body understands it that biologically you will survive. So that's why you're doing that.
Oh, I'm the opposite.
Like you like have the, like you can't eat.
Like, I'll forget if I've eaten or not.
And then the second thing for me is I just like take too many things at the same time to kind of distract myself until I realize that I can't keep it up.
Oh, overcommitment is like a different thing, but like I have that all the time. That's a boundaries thing for me though.
What about you? Don't skip out, guys.
I would never. Can't insult him like that.
No, like, the unhealthy isolation would or just like, or like where you don't feel like doing anything. That's and that's obviously super unhelpful.
That's true.
So if Oscar goes silent, we better check on him.
Yes. All right, last rule, and then we go to ours.
Okay.
Never stop thinking about him or her, because the moment you do, that's when they appear.
That's actually so true.
That's true.
That's actually so true.
Yes, like the moment that you are
They might not appear in person, but they'll definitely text.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Oscar?
No, I'm not sure how serious to take this. I don't.
He thinks we're a joke.
Sorry?
You think we're a joke?
No, I don't think. No, but that point, like, I don't. Think you got to feel the things you feel and feel them fully, and then what happens.
So you're not afraid of them
Cop-out.
reappearing?
Extremely cop-out answer.
You know.
I don't know. It's still like it applies. You know, when you feel like, okay, I finally stopped thinking about them, and then somehow they just got back to your life. It definitely happened to me in the past.
But this could actually be more of a girl thing than like if guys have a tendency to
Maybe because that's the way how they deal with the pain.
I also think girls don't really reappear.
No.
Like once a girl, I feel like, well, I don't know, I'm probably generalizing, but at least for me, like once I'm done, I'm done.
Yes. But I think that might also apply to guys.
Oh, would you ever date a Mexican?
What's the saying? I think it's the thing of like, no man can step in a river twice, because by the time it does, he's not the same man and the river's not the same.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Oh, that's a cop-out answer.
No, it's not. I think it's, so if you treat the breakup right, there could be a chance, but in general, no. Like you also don't want to read the same book twice, because you know that.
Sometimes when you read the book second time, you actually find
It could be a different person.
Yeah.
Right.
And you can be also a different
Oh,
person.
absolutely, you are.
Hopefully it will be.
I mean, I know people who would date and they would split for some time and then they would get together.
Yeah.
But anyway.
It's very context.
Yes.
Okay.
opening the mic for the group. What about our breakup rules?
Oh, yeah. You go for it.
Do you have any?
No, go ahead.
I think, I kind of agree with the conclusion of this episode, like the final rule that Carrie gives, which is also an answer to the question.
Oh, she really just wants to conclude it.
No, so that's why I'm not saying it.
Okay, fine. That's your answer?
Yes, which I will share at the end.
Oh my God, she's copping out. Oscar?
Okay. Yeah, I got a question. How important is it to be good at breakups?
Ooh.
Like it,
good at
like
handling them or breaking up with
people. It should not be something you practice for, right? I don't.
But what does it mean good at breakups? What does it mean?
Yeah, like
handling them all.
Handling them or breaking up with people?
No, like after.
After.
Surviving after, I guess.
I mean, one thing that I definitely can say from my experience, the moment you go through breakup more times, you know that at some point it's going to be all right. So it's not
play by play. Like you have a checklist.
First time you break up with someone and you were in love with, it feels like the end of the world. You can never find another person, But then when you do it multiple times and you kind of say, okay, I know there will be a point when I will be again okay, and I will not feel, this absolutistic about it.
Okay.
So I think that's probably one thing that helps me to deal with breakups now.
Do you think that frame of mind means that you're more guarded going into a relationship?
I think it depends who you are.
I don't think it's necessarily with the breakups. I think it's more like personality-wise, who you are. I also think, when you talk to someone who is older, when you talk to someone who is in their early 20s versus someone who is in their 40s, they look at the relationships completely differently. Like the people in 20s, they're like, oh my God, I love this person. I want to marry them. Like, let's build life together. It's almost like I want to create life around us. Versus people who maybe have done some relationships already or developed themselves a little bit more professional individual. They're like, okay, this is who I am. And now how I can kind of place this relationship around my life. Like they are not so keen to necessarily change everything in their life anymore.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure which one is better. But I definitely did notice that the older people get, the less they want to compromise on whatever they have already in their lives.
They're less moldable. Like they're pretty set on things they want.
Yeah. And it might be part of it, is that. But it might just be that they just have maybe less patience or aptitude for starting over. I don't know.
So how guarded or careful are you going into relationships?
No, I think it's it depends. I think
I'm telling you, it's a classic Aussie answer.
Sorry?
I've said that as well.
Continue.
I think it depends on I guess that's it's a good sort of canary in the gold mine on how much trust you feel with the person.
Yeah. Fair.
Yeah.
Interesting.
What about you?
I've been judged for this, but I have some friends who are like, why does she meet someone like them and then full force will pour her life into them? They're like, she always gets burned, it always happens, but
that's romantic.
No, it's just I can't be inauthentic. It feels like if I am just being guarded or stepping back, I'm not authentic. I'm not myself. And then there is no chance in hell that it will work at all.
You know what is interesting for me is the complete opposite. I need so much time before I can actually feel fully comfortable. It's almost like there is this guard that I have and I don't trust you for a very long time until I do.
We talked about this. Our approach to trust is very different.
Yes.
With me, people start at 100. With you, they're halfway.
They need to build the trust for me versus Elizabeth gives them 100% and they slowly take.
If you mess up, you can keep your 100. Yeah. Just don't ruin the trust. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's where I'm even if I would want, I can't.
Interesting. I almost think I'm more biblical. It's babies are born without any sin. A person enters into my life without any sin until they commit it. Oscar, how's your trust?
How do you trust? Fund. No, the actual trust. That was the face I will not forget.
No, I lead with trust, and I go in fully. And then if you don't have it, you don't have it. Like if you do something to, like I qualify in the beginning, of course, but then I lead with a lot of trust, and then if it's not there, or if something happens, then that makes me lose that trust. It's
No, I mean, yes, but it's more like when there's initial stages of relationship. Like, are you someone who kind of hops into it with the whole heart?
No, but I think it's different because it's like it doesn't have to be relationship related. I think if it's like if you meet anyone, but it's separate from like how fast do you like not commit yourself, but like jump into a relationship versus like how much you trust them, because you can still trust them and like take it slow and easy.
Yeah, no, that's true.
Yeah, because like I love a slow burn.
I think
I love learning people's personalities, their quirks, and their intellect.
Honestly, from my experience, nothing that was fast ever worked out.
right.
Oh, except for one.
For what?
The one I met when I was 17. I knew that I like 2 weeks later we were dating.
That's your who was it that saw her ex on the street? That's your guy.
No.
Who was that? In the episode that saw her ex on the street that she did.
Oh, Miranda.
Miranda, yeah, that's your Eric or whatever.
My Eric.
Yeah,
no, Eric did not leave me for another woman.
Exactly.
They just were too young.
We were too young. Yeah.
He was too young, apparently. Yeah, teddy bears.
Teddy bears. He looked like he was older than me.
Okay.
Honestly, I got a few teddy bears over the years.
Yeah.
I've never gotten that.
Not stuffed animals.
I'm gonna get Oscar a teddy bear for his birthday. Okay. Any other questions?
Well, we are past an hour.
Oh, how dare we again?
How dare we? It's hard.
We forgot the one thing of like Big saw her in the newspaper.
I have also one question.
Big saw her in the newspaper. He came up to her being like, "You never looked better." Like, did we just miss all that spicy tea? Zelda just hates it because she hates the relationship.
No, I don't hate relationships. I just hate cheesy talk. Like, you literally know we broken up and you come to me like, you never looked better. I'm like, fuck. Like, it's not gonna help anyone.
Have you had that happen?
That someone would came to me and tell me
No, just like after a breakup, they like either contact you, reach you out, and then like try to give you a compliment or something. I don't know.
Maybe. But they're no, like it depends on whether I'm over them or not. Like, clearly she wasn't over him yet, and then it's when it hurts.
But it impacts you more, yeah.
That means that it's bad to do regardless, right, from his side.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, he should have been aware of it, but obviously he's not emotionally. He's not emotionally very much aware, so I get him that.
Oh, I think he knows what he's doing.
Okay, then I don't like it at all.
No, it struck me as controlling or manipulative.
Thank you.
Oh.
See?
Oh.
Like, and he also saw like how it's impacting her immediately.
But it also, okay, this is the whole episode. It seemed like, for me, that he had broken up with her. Like the way they interacted and the way they interacted at the bar.
Okay, for Oscar, who hasn't seen the breakup.
Or any other part of Sex and the City.
Yeah.
She broke up with him because, like, I think 3 or 4 months into the relationship, she basically was like, I'm not the one. I'm not the love of your life.
She met his mother and he introduced her as a friend.
Right. Yeah.
And then she was like, okay, I need you to tell me I'm the one. Like, I need you to be clear about what you feel towards me. And he just didn't say anything.
Good.
So then she broke up with him. So it's mostly him.
Yeah, so that is manipulative.
Yes, it is. Wow. What do you think about this?
So I've been manipulated before?
I mean, who hasn't?
That's true, I guess. Okay, fine. I guess it's true. Okay, but last question. Also, Miranda getting fed up with them talking about men all the time. Actually, I feel like this is actually true. Like, guys do not talk that much about girls as much girls talk about guys.
So no. If we did that.
No, you talk about, like, ideas, sport.
Oh.
It depends very much on the friendship.
In the group, right?
Yeah, in the group. I like to talk about ideas, and I think that's fruitful. But there are certain guys, and they stick out a bit, that are like chatting about like girls a lot, and like, oh, let's meet some girls tonight, or like that, and that really, for me, actually, that stands out a bit and become a bit like, yeah, it's
like almost they're overcompensating.
yeah, like a bit of a turn of force, like yeah.
Definitely. I mean, from my own experience recently, when I met someone in the bar, and first time I meet someone, and they ask me a lot questions about like type of person I'm looking for. Like they just talked a lot about relationships. I'm like, I don't really know you, like let's just talk about something that is not so
actually get to know each other. Shocking.
No, but I mean, I don't know. It just felt too much.
No, yeah.
Interesting. No, because I feel like a lot of girl friend groups are guilty of that, and it almost feels like, what is our friendship boiled down to besides us talking to guys? Like we could do that with anyone, but it's like, what is it about each other that we do like, that we do appreciate? Like, is it learning new things? Is it trying new things? Like all that kind of stuff.
I mean, girls talk in general more about feelings and emotions. I think it's just a part of it, but it can take over.
Yeah, but a guy's not your life.
No, that's what I mean. Like it taken over. Like this type of discussions can take over.
Yeah, it's true.
So I did kind of agree with Miranda on that. Maybe she was a little bit strong about.
Well, Miranda had other reasons because she was trying to like stop thinking about Eric.
Yes.
Right. Yeah.
Anyway, shall we close?
Yeah.
With a answer. Oh. So we got an answer from Carrie, which is to the question, what are the breakup rules? The final most important rule, no matter who broke your heart or how long it takes to heal, you will never get through it without your friends. And I think that's really true.
Or like close people.
Yeah.
Very good answer for Carrie.
Shocking. Oscar hasn't seen the previous answers. They're infuriating.
Right. No, yeah, I fully agree.
I actually wrote this down myself, and then when the episode ended, I'm like, yeah. That's, I think, really
we finally
agree.
Shocking.
All right.
Thanks, Oscar, for representing the male population.
I hope I did a good job to your 33% listening base.
Oh, no, it's for the 60 that's actually interested in the male perspective.
Oh, got it. Okay.
I think men know what they think.
This is true. Some do, yeah.
He has a hot take. All right. Wait, but would you watch any more of the show? Was the one episode intriguing enough?
If you invite me back on the podcast,
Ooh.
It was not
not your binge watch?
Not my binge watch, no.
Interesting.
Fair.
How do you feel about like generations of women being shaped by that show?
Now she's again asking questions.
Doesn't strike me as necessarily the most productive.
This is a hot take. Interesting.
I mean, what do you watch, guys?
Yeah, what do you guys watch? How I Met Your Mother, excellent show.
Yeah, I don't watch TV that much anymore. No, but guys don't watch
The Office?
The Office or like. No, but I don't think I can talk about all guys on this one.
Okay, fine. But like in general friend groups, what shows do you guys talk about?
Or movies?
Or movies, fine.
Don't talk about movies.
You don't talk about movies?
No.
I don't know.
What is your favorite movie? I love putting you on the spot.
Yeah.
This is like a premium.
It's gonna go on Patreon.
Yeah. This is like interview of Oscar now.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's hard. I really like Lord of the Rings. I really like Shawshank Redemption, Green Mile, and
Green Mile's good.
Interstellar.
Interstellar.
Very standard guy answer.
Have you watched The Theory of Everything?
No.
Have you watched Imitation Game?
Yeah.
No.
Like that.
Okay, Theory of Everything is also very good.
I'm gonna write it down.
No, I'm giving you recommendations. It's a different podcast. All right. Any other parting thoughts? Discussions? Should we have more guests on here?
Well, let's answer a question for the audience.
Oh yeah, so people should follow our Instagram and answer. Cool. Good to know. All right, and it's a wrap. Oscar, do you want to clap?
Hold on. There we go.